Assalamu alaikum everybody and a very warm welcome to episode 38 in the Arabic with Sam podcast. I pray that you guys are having an awesome week. I hope that you guys are well and I hope you guys are bossing your Arabic studies these days. So in this episode, really I'm repurposing something that I did earlier in the week. Those of you who read my blog, you will have seen an article that I wrote earlier this week where I talked about how to actually think in Arabic. And it was actually in a response to one of the students' questions that I had from one of the students on my program, the Arabic in 60 Steps program. And simply because I've just been so busy recently, a lot of you know my wife's having our second baby soon. I've been doing so much for the Arabic in 60 Steps program, as well as trying really hard to try to build my Arabic world as well, to try to get that finished by the end of this month. So what I'm going to do is I'm cheating a little bit. I'm going to repurpose an article that I wrote earlier this week for the podcast, right? So I'm literally just going to read it for you, inshallah, but I think that you guys will enjoy it. So buckle your seatbelts, let's get into it. At least once a month I receive this question from at least one of my students. Sam, how do I start to think in Arabic? So what I wanted to talk about is actually about what it means to think in another language, and also just offer the students some practical tips to start thinking in Arabic more directly. The first point is that humans don't actually really think in language at all. We more think in ideas and emotions and concepts, and if we have the language capacity to express those ideas, emotions and concepts, then we can project them in the world via language, with the most suitable words that we have available. Even native speakers may not have the right words to express those feelings and emotions or thoughts. Sometimes we say things like, I don't know how to explain it, and I can't express how much I love you, and these are examples of us admitting this very fact. What is really meant by thinking in Arabic for the purpose of us Arabic students is for us to have a direct link between the Arabic word and the concept in our brain. So beginner Arabic students are usually guilty of thinking more like this. They think Arabic word, and then they translate the Arabic word into English in their head, and then the English word has a connection with the concept in their brain. So the process of thinking in Arabic is really more the practice of eliminating that step two. It's really just the practice of eliminating the need for English rather, as the barrier between the Arabic word and the actual concept in your brain. So, I have a few practical tips for you guys. I have a few things that you can use and you can start doing to try to build a more direct link between an Arabic word and the English concept in your brain. I'm putting it in that order because I'm assuming that you're reading and you're listening more than you're speaking. In a reading and spoken environment, you're having an Arabic word. In a reading and listening environment, you're having an Arabic word, and then you're translating it into English, and then you're thinking concept in your brain. But if you're producing language, if you're speaking or if you're writing, you have concept in your brain, and then English, and then trying to translate that into Arabic, right? So it depends on whether you're using active language or passive language for this, but the concept is still the same. So the first thing that you can do is to use more images. Often when students are reading a new text, they'll often make vocab notes around it and put boxes around little words or, annotate things in English and stuff like that. But it's a good idea to build more direct connections in your brain by actually just using images instead. If you're a particularly good drawer, it might help, but even if you're a particularly bad drawer, that's not really a problem. In fact, I'm a horrible drawer. I'm a terrible, terrible artist. And in fact, it helps me like that. If I try to think of if I think of times when I've tried to draw pictures of animals to correspond with the Arabic words for animals, because of how horrible they are, they just stick in my brain more easily. That's just a thing about our brains. We can remember really abstract and strange things sometimes. So it's better to replace the English word in your brain with Arabic word, image, concept. So you have Arabic word and then an image that represents the Arabic word. And images are inherently in their nature cross-cultural, right? They're just inherent in what we see in the world. So that's a really good way of removing the English word in that kind of understanding process. Idea number 2 is to stop translating everything. Students often feel the need to translate everything into English in order to understand it. However, once you actually have a foundation in the Arabic language, it's actually far quicker and more efficient to practice reading in Arabic, understanding in Arabic, and then interacting with it in Arabic. So rather than translating a newspaper article, try reading it and then writing a commentary on it about whether the article is fair, what's the article about, writing a summary of it perhaps. Do you like the writer? What are the political leanings in the article? So in this case, what you're doing, instead of having Arabic, English concept in your brain, you're creating an Arabic response to that Arabic word concept in your brain. And that's a much more direct and a much more native interaction with the language. Tip number 3 is to explain Arabic words via different words. So you may need to ask a teacher for help with this. Or you may need to like search for an Arabic synonym or something like that. But it's actually a really powerful tool to have an Arabic word, you come across an Arabic word, and then use other, more familiar Arabic words, even if it's a longer explanation, even if you need to write a couple of sentences, to explain that particular Arabic word, and then concept in your brain, right? That's a far, far more powerful way of actually understanding Arabic. So those are kind of three things that you can use, right? So coming to a point where you're actually thinking more directly in Arabic is just doing everything that you can to try to avoid that middle step in the middle, which was English, right? Just eliminating English or replacing it in your actual process of understanding Arabic. So you can replace it with a few different things that we covered in the article. Obviously, number 1, images instead. Number 2, responses to that word, how you feel about that word. And then number 3, explaining it by other words, if possible, right? Sometimes you need a teacher to help you with that stuff. So that's everything for the article. That's everything for this episode of the podcast, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're not following the article and you're a person who prefers to read rather than listen and stuff, then it'd be good for you to go over and follow it. So I publish my articles on LinkedIn, and I publish them on a platform called Medium. So yeah, you can search medium.com, I believe it is /Arabic with Sam, probably. But you'll find my articles on there as well. So that's where we keep the articles. Catch you guys sorry, I've been recording videos for the Arabic in 60 Steps program. That's why I'm saying step all the time. Before I recorded the audio and shot the video for this podcast, I had to do about 4 takes because I kept saying Assalamu alaikum everybody and a very welcome to step 38 instead of episode 38. Because that's how I do the intros for the Arabic in 60 Steps program. Anyway, go on and get on with your days, guy. Go and get on with yours days. Go and enjoy your days, everyone. Over and out. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.